you're going to keep seeing, or you're going to start seeing videos and all kinds of crap. And, you really, I'll give you an example. Most of the objects, okay, starships that people see on this planet in our atmosphere are not from other planets. They're reversed engineered ships, period. Even the ones that glow like a bright light, and that's all you see is the bright light. They also have reverse engineered ships in a way that are living. Okay, they're organic ships. They're alive. That's the best way to put it. So there's a lot of different technologies that way beyond the comprehension of this planet and its civilization. Now some of you have been getting information from different avenues. Okay, and everybody's gotten information before on these from different people, sources, and everything. And the latest is that like I've said, that the war on this planet, the war against pure evil, has ended. Okay, but that doesn't mean that there's massive cleanup involved. And what I've said, that when these beings, whatever you want to call them, they're extracted, they never come back, nor did they reincarnate into another body. We can't have them coming back. We can't have them mixing with the civilization anymore. We have different. Let's put it this way: we're human, but we have different species. Human species, and you got human hybrid species. So it's a combination. And so when you look at that, and you're still going to be bombarded by what? Really low frequency crap. Stuff that is dictating to the public that this is going to happen, this doom and gloom scenario is coming, and all of these depictions in our skies of wild and different energy emissions and avenue portals opening and different things that people are seeing. Holographic generated angels in the sky. And you've got to remember something. There are controllers of this quadrant of the galaxy. They do exist. They have been doing it for billions, if not trillions of years. And so what are they? Well, they're the ones that create the matrix. This universe, as we all know, is a holographic generated energy. Okay? We call it the matrix. And, heaven is a separate place. Hell is a separate place. God is a separate being. All of these things have been taught to the civilization of this planet for, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years. So you have no comparison, so most people choose to believe all of it. Now, we're all of us are physically in position to experience the greatest liberation of a planet. Okay? Period. Ever. Happening on this planet. And is it happening now? Yeah, you betcha. But how do you clean up the mess left behind by the war? How do you clean it up? Without having people involved, without having innocents or civilians, trying to be heroes and doing this and doing that, you lock down the planet. You lock it down. That way people aren't going to go snooping. Or, trying to help. That won't work, so they lock down the planet. This country will be locked down. Right? And it's not a negative. But see, you remember, there are those who will probably not make it in this lifetime because they're just asleep. That's all. They're sleepwalking through life. And that's not negative. It's just, it's not their time. They'll end up leaving the body and going, and coming back in another body. And maybe they'll get it. Maybe they'll wake up then. So some people in this country, when the lockdown happens, and where's the lockdown going to happen? I will tell you, between now and early June. It's not going to happen. It's already in place. It's going to happen. Okay? This isn't something that's going to be, a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. It's going to happen very quickly. And I've talked about this in the past. I really didn't give specific date like I am now, as close or near. So what do you have? Well, if you remember, some of you do. I know you do. When Trump federalized the National Guard across the country. Why the heck did he do that? Well, we need them now. And deploying them in, major metropolitan areas across this country is crucial. Why? Well, we don't care to have innocents harmed. Really? And you guys know how it can get out of hand, especially with those that are sleepwalking. It can get out of hand. And watch what happens when it gets out of hand. People just go crazy, ransack places and stores and harm others. But the military is specifically, transferring equipment across the country for the past dozen years. And that's not the bad guys doing it. That was the good guys. Running maneuvers to peoples and neighborhoods and stuff, dry runs maneuvers on getting, food and money to people in the outer lying areas from the city. So what's really transpired here? We've talked about the photon field, energy field, okay, that this solar system is going through for the next few thousand years. It's not a hit and run. This is, by our standards, it's quite a long time. And that frequency is increasing the frequencies across the planet. Even for those that habitually stay in low frequency, are beginning to pretty much automatically move themselves into higher and higher frequencies. And conflicts and everything. So, when that happens, you start to feel things. And some of you, and I talked about this in my meditation today, you're going to notice a lighter feeling of energy and frequency in our atmosphere, in the air, with other people. And it's not your imagination. It's just not figuratively, but literally happening. Because when evil's lifted from a place, it doesn't take long for the light energy and higher frequencies to come flooding in. Totally abolishing any last remnants or essence of that pure evil. When that happens, everything lifts. Everything becomes more buoyant. Everything ascends on the planet, so to speak. So this is what you lock down to clean up the mess, to clean up all of the bad guys, to take them off planet. They're not going to go, with endless tribunals. It would take forever to do hundreds and hundreds of thousands and millions of these beings in tribunals. It's counterproductive. Knowing the crimes that they perpetrated against this civilization, humanity, and others for so very long, knowingly, their history. That's all there is to it. No trial or anything. And so this is what this is for. This is what this lockdown is for. And now they've all been marked. You've heard me talk about that. All these illegals coming into our country all been marked. We know exactly where they're at, where they're housed, where they're hiding. We know exactly what their backgrounds are, what countries they came from, what reason they were sent here, and they're all going to be docked out. Every one of them, they're going to be docked out of the country. The largest deportation in the history of this planet will happen. Now, this is not hearsay, but the taxation just in this country alone is over. All right? You'll see what I mean in a very short period of time, comparatively speaking. It's over. We all know that we've all been duped as a civilization, and the American people have been duped, and the English people have been duped over in England, and the French people have been duped, the German people have been duped, the Italian people have been duped. I mean, everybody's been duped by these creatures that invaded our planet a long time ago and made up the rules. Just made them up. No real structure. Without the people ever knowing, just made up. What are the rules? Rape, steal, and pillage. That's it. Those are the rules. For them, that's the rules. For the rest of the civilization, bow, live in fear. Bow and live in fear. Right? So you're going to definitely experience a complete wipe clean. All of it. Full debt, everything. Wiped clean. Across the board. I don't care what debt you have or anything. And see, a lot of people didn't realize the amount of wealth that this planet holds. Even a lot of them in the good guy camp. Well, that's been revealed, so it's not about the money. It isn't about the money. You know what it's about? It's about us. Currently, we're on this planet. We didn't come from this planet. We were seeded here. But now that we're on it, we've been on it a while. We kind of call it our planet. Right? Reptilians call it their planet. Who really cares? Okay, we're here, and our direction is to clean it up. Is to balance it, and to help each other in doing that. And the monies will be afforded for that. In this country alone, there's no longer going to be gangs, poverty, slums, people living on the streets, and an infrastructure that continually deteriorates and falls apart. That's all going to be wiped away. Yeah, there's work involved, sure. We're all going to be doing something to assist the population in a good light, in a positive light. No, this low frequency crap is, it's going out the door permanently and being vaporized. It's no longer going to be front and center. There's no room for it. And then what we have is, there's right now in our country, we all know it, there are people worried, stressing, and fearing constantly. They're freaked out. They can't sleep at night. They're staring at the ceiling. They're shaking their heads. They're rubbing their foreheads. They're putting their heads down. They've got bouts of diarrhea, nervousness, and tension, and all kinds of stuff because they just don't know what the heck's going on. Well, this is what's going on. We literally are cleansing this planet of pure evil, and it's gotten to the point where we're down to the last drop. Which means that now what you do, you shut the planet down, and you go around and you just wipe out the bad guys, wherever they're at. And we know every single place they're at. They can't run. Well, okay, they can run, but they're not going to be able to hide. I don't care. The ones out in New Zealand that are that maybe still have the underground bunkers that haven't been extracted, they're gone. They're all gone. All the bankers that have perpetrated crimes against humanity are gone. They'll be absolutely eliminated. The banking system as people grew up with is no longer. It is no longer going to be what everybody are accustomed to, that we've experienced. Okay? There just isn't. It's not going to be the same. At all. At all, at all. And so when we look at this, amongst all of this clutter, this crap, this doom and gloom, boogeyman bull crap, is just that. Try to keep people down. Try to keep them depressed. Do whatever you can to keep them dismal, emitting low vibrational frequencies. Okay? Why would we choose that anymore? Now, a lot of people are going to be surprised because what will happen, as I've talked about over and over and over again, the emergency broadcast system, that's exactly what it is. It's not some other name. It's emergency broadcasting system. And it will come on and it will tell people basically in a respectful way, go home. This is not a test. Please return to your homes. All right? So that gets everybody off the streets. And they got to listen. If you don't listen, okay, then you're going to miss it. So you go home, and not everybody has, what do you call it? I don't know. Maybe they have TVs, but they don't use them. And they don't have cable or anything. I've told people is that, well, you can find, they have these little antennas, those antennas. I don't mean rabbit ears, but they do have antennas you can plug into an old TV set and turn it on. Okay? But the internet won't be functioning. The banks will not be functioning. The ATMs and credit cards will not work. Online banking will not be accessed. So this is why we talked about and I know a lot of people don't have a bunch of spendable cash, if any. But if you can pull it off, is to have just a little bit of cash and a little bit of silver coins. Most people usually can afford silver coins. I mean, a lot of people spend a ton of money a week at Starbucks. With that, you could probably buy 2 or 3 or 4 silver dollars. Silver's going to go up high into the thousands. Gold's going to go up into multiple thousands. And you're going to see a big difference here. Things are going to change rapidly. Right? What about the Fed money? It's over. I think most of you know that. It's in place now so that there's no chaos. But we will go to what? What will we go to begin with? Which I've talked about this before. We'll go to a gold-backed currency. We'll have our own currency. In the background, there's going to be a shakeout. And the shakeout is that, like I've mentioned before, there are other groups on the planet in this very now moment working on different models of the new financial structure. Okay? And I mentioned that, different models. Okay? And these groups all are separate from each other. And they all have different applications that they're working on. The groups, how big are these groups? 2,000-3,000, maybe. All learning and working with these, as each one of them have different financial systems that they're, beta testing, working on, so on and so forth. But in the meantime, what are we going to be using? We'll be using a currency, and the currency will be gold-backed. It's pretty simple for everybody to understand that. It's not complicated. Okay? And as far as the digital coins and everything, that's going to be shaken out. But the main thing is that how do you get people, do you need to get them familiarized with something totally new and totally out of their ballpark as far as understanding? No. You just do the gold standard to begin with. We'll eventually transition into a digital system, but not designed to rape and pillage the people. Okay? And that's kind of a dilemma because we all know that things have been backdoored and invaded over the years. This is not the only planet that's had that issue amongst the population. And so it just depends how it's going to unfold, so to speak. But the benefit will be for the people. That's it. The benefit will be for the people. Now, when this happens, there's been a compiled video, cram-packed with information, that will be playing in a constant loop 24/7. Not the only thing people are going to be able to watch. There's nothing else unless you got a DVD you can put in the machine, right? And it'll just keep playing. And it's history. I mean, it's like you probably want to record it if you can. But it's going to tell you all that's happened, not only in this country, but planetary-wide. What's happened? What took place? What caused all this? What caused us to be in such an imprisoned life? And impoverished and worried and stressing and fearing, working and working and working to do what? To live. To live. And that's going to be abolished. Remember we talked about New Earth and the frequencies that accompany New Earth. And, of course, the technologies. And this is what we're doing. This is what's transpiring. Now, there will be attempts by the remnants of the bad guys to just misinform everybody. Really. And it's not like we're new to that. That's been going on incessantly for the last several years. I mean, heavy so. It's been going on for years and years and years, but in the last few years, it's been heavy, heavy, heavy and increasing. It's like, don't step in that cow pie. Just don't do it. Is it worth bringing you down and getting depressed and irritated? No, it's just low frequency. And we're done with that crap, really, as a people. So you're looking at a complete, for the people, and about face, totally new, bringing the wealth to the people of the planet, not the government. Now, there are good governments that have been formed in the background that the people will know about. And you're going to see this and witness it. And these governments like the CCP, the Communist parties, the Chinese Communist Party or people, that's going to be gone. All secret agencies, gone. All corrupt agencies, gone. You can't, you know this, you can't, like you have a rotted foundation, right? The concrete's falling apart and it's cracking and sinking. You can't build a healthy foundation by building on that old, rotten, decrepit, falling apart foundation. It's just absolutely idiocy. So you were starting with brand new foundations. The pedophilia, the sex trafficking, all of that's gone on for thousands and thousands of years on this planet is ending. The internet, anybody dealing in porn and pedophilia is marked. It's over. It really is. It's not just saying that. And so a lot of people say, well, you've seen a few things, sting operations and stuff, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. So what is it now? You have a kind of a time window, right? As to when. Now, obviously, you're not going to get an exact time and day, but we've condensed it down to, it's very shortly here, it's going to be happening. Okay? Like I said, between now and early June. Now, what about disruptions? Okay. Well, your financial disruptions, you're not going to be able to do, your checking account, bank account, or anything like that. And this is going to run 9 to 14 days, and you got to leave a little room in there for flexibility. It might take longer than that, the cleansing process of the planet. I mean, you're talking about, this is a huge undertaking. You're talking about every nook and cranny on this planet where all the remnants of the bad guys are. See? And you look at this. We all know that the nurses and doctors that participated in the genocide of the vaccines, they aren't going to be on the planet anymore. They're just not. And any that partook in it, okay, aren't going to be on the planet anymore. I mean, when I say this is a complete cleanse, exactly what it is. All these groups and agencies and everything are going to be gone. The people of the planet are actually going to be able to breathe easy, literally. This isn't some fake promise either. No. It's not the bad guys in disguise trying to dupe everybody. Because their existence is all, with this cleanup, that'll be it. Are there some, it's like the governors, right, in this country? Well, it's the old guard, it's the old government. These are corrupt disciples of the once. DC's been completely disconnected, we'll put it that way. So the District of Columbia no longer exists. Now, for the people, and that's what I'm addressing, for the American people, trillions of dollars have been stolen generation after generation of taxes illegally from the American people. Right? And the American people through intimidation by not a government, okay, but by a corporation for years and years and years. And if you understand that their Constitution, not ours, not the people's Constitution, but their Constitution, which kind of mirrored our original Constitution, this is stated the 16th Amendment. The 16th Amendment was never ratified. What does that mean? It was never approved by the people. So they just threw it out there and say, hey, this is a law. And it's not. It isn't a law. Never was. So they just went around stealing from the people trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, ruining people's lives, ending their businesses and everything. Some people committed suicide because they couldn't handle it. This went on for years and years and years. It's over. Seriously, it's going to be over. All these people that said, oh, that's just a bunch of bunk. That's never going to happen. You're out of your mind. Everybody's got to pay taxes. Why? Do you know at one time in this country, none of us paid taxes. Why do you think we all migrated here to this continent? Because in England, it was taxation without representation. You were just taxed to death, literally in some cases. So we all came here in the colonies to escape taxation. And what happens here? These creeps infiltrated, invaded, and started literally milking us dry as a people. But they did. A lot of you know that. And now this is all ending. This planet was never intended for us to live the way we live. Struggle and stress and strife and, get so poisoned and everything from food and water and air and the whole 9 yards that we lose the ability to have children. So we go into an extinction. How can anybody say that we're in an extinction phase when we have all these billions of people on the planet, of which you could fit all of them in Texas? In fact, you could fit all of them into a certain portion of Texas, and everybody have a square meter of space. It'd be pretty tight, but see, everything that the people of this planet have been told is a lie. Just a bald-faced lie. Everything's a lie. Everything the media says is a lie. All right? All the books and everything, lies. All the past, lies. Rerouted, restructured, reintroduced into a slave operation. Nobody on this planet should be being without anything. Okay? And all of you are going to be well financially. It's not even, it should, I know, I've been there more than once where you worry about not having enough for this, not having enough for that, and the more you worry about it, the more you create it for yourself. So you determined that what you've been asking for is now coming into fruition. How many times you said to yourself, boy, it'd really be great if you were totally free of debt? Complete cross the board, everything. Well, that's about to happen. And so you understand that this lockdown is not a negative thing. It's not the bad guys. But you remember, the sleepwalkers are going to look at it as some kind of boogeyman, event, that the bad guys or something evil is taking over. And they're all doomed to gloom. Doom. But it's actually the opposite. And it's pretty much, it's the only way to do it. Okay? Most of the operations will be done at night. Another smart thing. The veil of darkness. I don't think you'll see much, if anything, during the day. And these military personnel know exactly what they're doing. They've been directed, and they've been doing it for quite a while. So it's not like they're rookies at it. Okay, the rookie stuff has been shaken off. Just look at this country right now. All right. Imagine what small business owners will be able to do for their employees and the furthering of their businesses without taxation. Okay? Where every single amount of money that comes in is yours. All these federal excise taxes, I mean, it's like each of us are taxed over 900 taxes a year. I mean, it's nickel and dime, 25 cents here, 5 cents there, 15 cents here, so on and so. But it adds up. And then, remember that all of these stupid, ridiculous, asinine executive orders, what a joke, right? That this group has been initiating. Null and void, guys. All of it's null and void. It has no teeth. It's just a joke. It really is, okay? For instance, Biden's been dead now, let's see, for a few years. The demons, you can tell the demons, they're not hard to spot anymore. And all the people representing and all across this country representing the dark agenda, right? They're done. They're all done, completely, without a shadow of a doubt. And things will come into fruition, and everybody will be told, and everybody will have enough knowledge or information so they know exactly what's going on. Okay? As far as hydration of the people, you'll know how that's going to take place. You won't be in the dark. You will be firmly educated as to the applications that are getting ready to unfold. And you got to have a clean planet for all this other new stuff to come in. If you don't have a clean planet, it's just kind of like, it's like shooting in the dark. You don't never know if you're going to hit your target. And this transition is spectacular. It's like people go, all right, so, and some of the garbage that's gone on is just absolutely asinine. Oh, everybody, you can't have any wars on the planet. If you have wars on the planet, you can't have Nasara. Crap. Right? Turn it the other way. When Nasara is announced, all wars will end, if there's any going on. But I don't believe that there will be, because the culprits that instigated those wars will be wiped off the face of the planet. See, there's not going to be any room, any leniency whatsoever. It's said and done. And, you've heard me talk about beans and rice, white rice, which I thought was really healthy for you. And then someone comes out and says, no, white rice is bad for you. Okay, then you go over here and say, well, this is good for you. And, oh, yeah, we say this is good for you. And then you go over here and say, oh, no, it's not good for you. Which is, yeah, okay. But anyway, the rice, the beans, a little bit of seasonings, the water, clean. That's why I told people, I said, get the Natural Action Portable Structured Water Unit. It's not expensive, really, for what it does. It lasts you a lifetime. It's portable, handheld. You can take it anywhere. It comes in a little silk purse. And it structures the water so you have clean water. So when you look at this is magna glorious. It really is. This is what a lot of people have been looking for many lifetimes to happen. And now it's happening. All the corrupt institutions are going to be gone. And any of the ones that you can repurpose, okay? So what I mean by that is that they've been, it's been medicinalized and cleansed, and good people have been put in place with those operations to utilize the assets for the people. And there's a few of those that's been done with. When you look at these corporations that have blatantly murdered millions and millions of people, such as the pharmaceutical companies, they're not going to have a place. They're done. All those involved with that are also done. The research scientists, the bench people, working in the labs, knowing exactly the side effects that this crap throughout the years that people have lived with. These bodies were not designed to take in synthetic chemicals to suppress the body's cries for organic help. And that's what these pharmaceuticals have done to the people of this planet for generations. And, of course, the Rockefellers, do you think any of them are going to be around? Even seeds or distant relatives, all gone. All of them. Warburgs, Windsors, all gone from the planet. There's not going to be any room for creeps. Not anymore. Arrogant, ego-driven, deceivers, deceptors. There won't be a room for this. When high frequencies continue to come in and flood in, what do you think is going to happen with the low frequencies? They're not going to survive. And then again, you're going to experience technologies that will be real and made readily available. And these technologies are going to revolutionize the way people live. And we all know, we learned a lot about AI, that you can work with AI as long as you can pull the plug on AI. Okay? Because we can never allow an AI to become totally self-aware. That's when it turns into the danger zone. Somewhat aware, okay, but chain linked, so it can't go further. And when you look at the impact that we've all experienced so far, with all the doom and gloom and the bad things and this and that and what's going to happen, the country's going down the tube. You got millions of people coming in the country illegally and being allowed to come in. You get people getting sicker and sicker and dropping dead of the vaccine. You got rumors of a bad one coming up and all this stuff. and there's information now spreading out there about that that there are places in this country that are being beamed with high amounts of radioactive energy. Beamed, okay? It's killing you. You got to get a special kit. You got to protect yourselves. So they're going to continually put out stuff until they're all gone. That's it. Until they're all gone, it's it. The media, what's going to happen to the media? They're all going to be shut down. Poof. Completely gone. They're not going to be around. They're just not going to exist. All the people working there, guess what? Well, so many of them have lied knowingly. For what reason? Well, betray your own people to keep your job. That's the main reason. Okay? Be complacent and be good little slaves, while all the rest suffer from the stupid information that they put out there. Because it's just garbage. You know, look at it. I mean, for almost, 8 years? What have they been doing? Going after Trump for almost 8 years. Making up crap all over the place. Well, in a good way, what's that showing to the people? It's how corrupt this admiralty law court system is. The Supreme Court, literally, seriously, every one of the people on the Supreme Court should be hung upside down, shot in the head. And then their body should be lifted off planet, never to return again. Souls reabsorbed into the collective, the one, the God. And that's what's happening. Okay, so there's a lot of people that, I don't think some were totally aware, but I believe that they had intuition and some idea about, all this stuff that's been perpetrated on the people. And someone's got to be held accountable, and finally, they're all being held accountable. Every last one of them. So you're going to see a lot of people. You'll see, I wonder what happened to so-and-so. Hollywood's pretty much literally it's being cleaned out. You're not seeing any of the people anymore. Right? Oh, China took over Hollywood. China, see, the Communist Chinese Party is the culprit. They're the dark. Okay? And then there is a Republic of China. That's the good. And the majority of Chinese people are good people. But there is a bad group, and that's the Mongolian Empire. And the Muslims as well, they are jurisdicted and ran and directed by the Mongolian Empire. Okay? And who do you think's being extracted from the planet? More and more people are waking up. Mongolian Empire. Every one of them. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things happening in this very now moment. And now what's coming is the lockdown. Right? Not ominous, not negative. Well, some people it's going to be negative because they aren't going to understand. And then the loop will be the EBS and all the information that will be flooded out there. Now, to some people, it's all going to click. Other people, kind of like fractured here and there, but a little piece here, a little piece there. And then other people won't. Their mouths will be, their jaws will be in their lap. They'll be so gobsmacked that all this is coming out, because it has to come out, and it's got to set the record straight for the human species, the civilization of the planet. Got to. We've got to. We've got to set the record straight. They've always been twisted. They've always been screwed with and skewed. So we had really no direction as a people because we didn't know. We were kept following lies that these frauds were perpetrating on the people. Now it's all switching. Right now, it's all switching. It has been switching. You see, then they'll say, well, all the weather's man-made. It's all man-made, all of it. Every bit of the weather on this planet is man-made. Crap. Total crap. Okay? It's just like global warming. Okay? Crap. Total crap. Absolute crap. Okay? And things are just going to keep getting better and better. Yeah, we have a lockdown coming, okay? But knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. So you have enough knowledge and you understand this, then you understand that, you know what, it makes a lot of sense, protect the innocents, clean up the crap, get rid of these creatures. We can't have them in our civilization. We just can't. And I believe that the majority of people that are somewhat aware will agree with that. They'll just agree. It says absolutely not can we have them ever again in this civilization. Ever. And so that's what's being that's transpiring. You're going to see a lot of things. You're going to see deflation. You have to see deflation, okay? Because these prices are way out of whack. They've been engineered. And if you ever notice the Fed dollar, all it's done is inflate. We've never had a deflation, ever, okay? There's all these criminals running things. Now we're going to have a deflation. When you look back, look at prices. It's fun to do it. If you look prices back in the 50s and 60s in this country, and you sit there and say, how did a loaf of bread for 15 cents end up $10 a loaf, $12 a loaf? How did that happen? Criminal activity. Why does a big screen TV cost an American, when they first come out, I'm talking about, when the first, like a 10K comes out and it's $10,000 for a large one, okay? When it should be $300-400 maybe. So you're going to see things just kind of go whoosh, flatten out. And pricing adjusts, and then everything will come together as far as our currency, gold-backed currency. People understand that, been able to maneuver that, and the digital system, which we've been digital. We've been analog and digital for a long time, right? And do not let all of these highfalutin terminologies confuse you. But none of those have been implemented yet. For the people, for the planetary population. But there will be, and the people will be educated about it and be able to maneuver and operate it. Okay. And of course, we all know that we're looking at, it's always an adjustment. There's always a transition, right? Everybody's in habit of one system, a new system comes in, and so there's a transitional period. So when you have the new system, finances and everything, see, when the broad range replicator is front and center, right, and we're replicating thousands of them, and we're getting them out across the planet, and of course we all know that it takes a bit, okay? We will have certain transportation technologies that will expedite it, but it's still going to take a bit. People's personalities, character, belief systems, and all that stuff plays a role in the acceptance of these technologies as positive. And as people become more aware and knowledgeable, and it literally starts saturating the civilization, the society, then money will be obsolete. Garbage will be obsolete. Throwaway society will be obsolete. Plastic will be obsolete. Boxes and packages will be obsolete. All the pollution and everything that we've caused on this planet through manufacturing toxic materials will be obsolete. All right? Manufacturing on the planet will be obsolete. So pumping all that debris into the atmosphere will no longer exist. Now really, seriously, take a look at this right now. Right? So all of this stuff is going to be gone. There's no ifs, ands, but yeah, are there going to be people that will fight that? Oh, sure. Holding on to the last vestiges of capitalism. And it'll be eliminated. Capitalism will be eliminated. Taxation will be eliminated. It's all coming. It's not going away. It's not hearsay. Okay? Revaluation of currencies will happen. And then everybody's going to go, wow, man, this is easy. All that stuff I was told, all that crap I was fed was just that crap, garbage. Okay? Because if you understand is that as these technologies start to proliferate civilization, you then begin to realize that what? Okay. Wow, this takes care of this, it takes care of that. But we will stay manual in certain areas as a civilization. What does that mean? It means that we'll still do things with our hands. You know, we'll be creative. We won't sit there on some hovercraft, you know, and get fat and just never do anything and just have it all done for us. We will be manual in some areas, which is healthy. But these others will be, you know, these technologies will be supplemental. I mean, you want a house, replicate it. It's better than you can build it. You want, like I said, it's just about everything. We have a fail-safe. I won't go into the techniques of it, but I will tell you that none of these devices that we give to the civilization are going to be responsible for creating anything that will cause any harm, period. So it's fail-safe. So what happens is that people will get acclimated and say, okay, well, I want this. Yeah, if you and see the information that will be put into the database will be astronomical across the board. It'll be updated constantly. See? So there'll still be people designing things and ideas and contributions, and all that information will be absorbed into the database of the type of AI that we have. And, you know, it doesn't take long, does it? Doesn't take long for some people. Others take a lot longer. But food, no more starvation on the planet. Zero starvation. All right? Very dense nutritional food, so there's a lot of energy in that food so that the body can absorb it. And literally, you'll eat 1/3 of what you eat now and be totally satisfied. Because most of the food, we all know this. Most of us do. But the food has just been crap. They've just bastardized our food system. You know, yeah, you get organic food and this and that, but the energy in it is just not what it was 1,000 years ago. So what does a replicator do? Broad-range replicator, you will have super dense nutritional food. Why not? Because you'll be putting it into an immortal body that is literally generated by the celestial chamber. You'll have portability with the wand. You know, you'll have other technologies that you use that say, you know, and I've used this example before many times. This is, you know, say that you want to transport something, and you could teleport it, okay? But maybe you just want to have it on you. So you could take a car collection, for instance, you know, 20, 30 cars, and shrink them all, and put them in a bag or something, carry them with you. Then we get to the destination, wherever it is, carefully place these vehicles in an enclosed housing that you replicated, right? And then, zoop, they're all there, full scale, full size. There's just a lot of phenomenal things coming, and there like I said, there's a curve though. There's a learning curve, and some people will adapt, others will take much longer. Right? And remember, the comprehension in this country is for your average high school graduate, 3rd grade, and for your average undergrad in college, 8th grade. It's how they've dumbed down. Well, it's their educational system. It's not ours. You see it's how it's purposely been dumbing down the American people for generations. It's like, again, it's like the frog in the pot doesn't know it's being boiled. And that's what's happened to a lot of Americans throughout the ages. They didn't know they were being boiled until it was too late. We're going to have a constitutional republic. it will be restored. And the people will know about it. It's not going to be the secret crap anymore. No secrecies. No, none, zero, period. It's going to be out there in front and center for the people to view, okay, to understand, comprehend. And when you can educate a people, and those people become knowledgeable, and they're motivated to continue learning, it's a whole different ballgame. Now that we have Space Force, anybody that tries to force their way onto our planet, they won't get there. I'll just put it that way. Any aggressor won't get there. And Space Force fully operational. And it's not some rinky-dink operation. Way beyond that. So these things. Now, you know, the broad range regular in the celestial chamber and some of these other technologies, we would have them now. We don't. It's universe timing. What it is. So this stuff happens. The channels are opened. Monetary sources come flooding. Rest is history. And comparatively speaking, within a very short, reasonable amount of time, you guys will have access to these technologies. It won't cost you a penny. You're not going to pay for electricity anymore. You watch. This is all going to be a transition. The new devices will come in, and then people have access to them. And there won't be power company goons trying to threaten you, which is absolutely asinine. It's like you say, look, I'm not going to use your power. I don't need to. You don't harass me. And take that damn smart meter off my house, or I'll vaporize it, because I don't need your line coming in. I have my own I have my own energy source. I don't have to worry about blackouts, storms, or anything. That's what you're going to see. It's going to be a transition across our country and others. But eventually that's what it's going to be like. There's not going to be power companies doing power distribution. You'll be in charge of that for your own family, your home, and everything, and be fine with it, because the devices will be in the house. Now you heard about the inception, and we still don't know what's going on with that. But there's technologies, like I've told you, where one cell will last 10,000 years and power a city. Okay? And the cell's not big at all. The cell's about the size of a, those ball jars, those half-gallon ball jars? That's about how big it is. Take a look at one of those jars, make it completely cylindrical at both ends, and not narrowed at the throat of it, and that's how big the cell is. And we'll be able to replicate those a dime a dozen. Be able to hand them out like candy. Period. So these are transitionary applications as the frequencies continue to increase by the collective, which we're all part of. The gods that we are in these bodies are part of the collective, which is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. In fact, the collective goes beyond consciousness, pure consciousness, or the God, whatever you feel comfortable calling it. That's what we are in these bodies. And because of the collective consciousness, we decided across the expanse that this planet will be liberated, and it's being liberated. Like I said, the wars were okay. I use this example in the Civil War. After the Confederacy was said, okay, war's over, right? Lee surrendered, whatever. But there were pockets for a couple years after that of Confederates and platoons and brigades running around and trying to off Union soldiers. This is not much different. You've got renegades, that are still hanging out, trying to figure out a way to rekindle their power base. And that's what this lockdown is going to be about. It's going to wipe all them out. Once and for all. Freemasons, all of them are going. And I know that sounds strange to people, but no, these are all infiltrated, pure evil operations. One time the Knights Templar were pure and clean. And then thousands of years, they just have become pure evil. The truth about the Catholic Church is going to be revealed. It's unfortunate for the Catholics that dedicate their lives to this, praying to a God that doesn't exist in the skies, looking up or bowing down to the God, when the God is within you. Huge deception played upon the population. Same with the Quran, and it's the same with all of these holy written pieces of information. All lies. You ever notice it, Anna, Bhagavad Gita, all of them, it always talks about this God, this entity, God, when you're the God in the body. A supremely powerful, omnipotently powerful, supreme, immortal being that never dies. That's what we are in these bodies. Body's temporary. You can be in the body for 5,000 years. It's still temporary. You're going to leave it eventually. You can decide to move on. So this is a real eye-opener, okay? You clear all that debris out and all the garbage that's been slung your way about all this stuff, okay? Not saying there's a couple of small kernels of truth here and there. But you then begin to start thinking for yourself and governing yourself and understanding for yourself. Say, okay, it only makes sense that things will happen this way. You know, the revaluation of currencies, and it's common sense, okay? You have, like I said, I've said this before, and even a lot of new people come on this call every week. But you're looking at all these countries that have been defiled. By who? By the creeps in this country. Throughout the ages. You just say, and there's a lot of countries that they've defiled, but you aren't aware of. And so you look at Vietnam, defiled for years. Look at Iraq, defiled for years. The currency, dong, dinar. Look at Africa, defiled for years. All these different currencies and stuff. You set them straight. That's why you revalue them to current standards. None of them are current. Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, really? That's why it takes $500,000 dong to equal roughly $20. Does that make any sense to anybody? Oh, well, that's inflation. Yeah. Created inflation, artificial. Just like debt was created. This country is free and clear, by the way. It doesn't have any debt at all. Zero. Now, the creeps, these fake corporate, whatever you want to call them, are just like the banks. They're so steeped in debt, it's unreal. And this is what's so funny. You get these reports that come in, oh, the banks are buying up all kinds of gold and silver. No, they're not. They don't have any money. And I told you guys, we've had issues with banks. I won't name them. I'm not going to name them. But we've had issues with them where they just refuse to transfer any money. And they lie, and they won't tell you why. And no matter how many times you ask them, they lie again. See, all that stuff's going to be so nice when it's gone. It's out of the way. We won't have to be plastered with that bird doo-doo on our faces. going to be gone. In fact, it pretty much is gone. Certain establishments such as the BIS, Bank of International Settlements, has been repurposed. Any of the mongering corporations have been repurposed. What does that mean? Well, let's just say that the darkness has been eliminated from them. Because you need certain infrastructure, in certain areas. Anything we can salvage to assist with the, I'll call it re-atomization of our country and the planet, is a good thing. Okay, and some of this stuff has been repurposed, and the creeps have been eliminated out of those structures. And this has all been going on in the background. It's all happened. It's already happened. That's why you're going to start seeing it. People talk about it. You're going to start talking about it. Be careful of your ego mind coming in and saying, "Oh, is this another fool that's going to lie to us and give us all this, fake la-di-da-da?" Well, we all know that what the creation of time on this planet is for a slave civilization, but so we use the time, and we have the saying, "Time will tell all." But you're going to see these things happen. Experience them, like the RV, the global currency reset of all currencies on the planet, so that there's an equal balance. There's no balance. They're all just jacked out of shape. And you don't just dump all those currencies. Oh, okay, we're on a digital system. You transition. Get the currencies balanced, okay? Get the allotment of wealth to each country to back those currencies with precious metals. And we're off and running. End poverty, end starvation, end homelessness permanently. And not everybody can take care of themselves. I know that sounds strange, but in our civilization, there are people that are not capable of taking care of themselves. They're just not. It's not their thing. Right? And so that's what we do. We help each other. And that's got to come front and center more and more each day that passes by. We're no longer, as a people, going to be taken for granted. We're not going to be manipulated, misled, dealing with greedy beings that lie to us about, lack of this, lack of that, running out of water. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're going to be out of water. And, we have to do this too, and we have to do that. And we don't have there's not a lot of wealth on this planet. There isn't, okay? That's why we do have poverty and everything. And our medical system, the medical system that Draco put together on this planet is over. It is over. And we all saw it. We saw how they operated. Didn't we? To survive as a hospital, what did they do? Lied. Put fake people in emergency rooms with Adidas running shoes, covered in blankets looking like they're dying, which was all acted and play acted. So you whip the people up in a frenzy and everybody lines up. I mean, in a little mountain town, we watched a bus. The big, the Prevost or the big long buses, and so the people lined up and couldn't wait to get shot, and have the vaccination. And there really isn't anything there's no, vaccinations really don't exist. It was made up. Right? Do you know what all of that stuff's about? You take the actual disease, you put it into what? Syringe, needle. And then you inject the body with it. Okay, so you're injecting the body with the actual disease, right? Why? So that your immune system can become immune to that disease. That was their initial thinking a long time ago. So inject the body with the very disease so that the immune system builds up an immunity and eradicates that disease. And that was their thinking. Long time ago. And then it got twisted, more miscombobulated. And the next thing you know, they had everything under the sun and the vaccine that was given to everybody over the last 3 years. And the celestial chamber, with no formulas and all these combinations and everything, will be able to eliminate any and all impurities from any vaccination period from the body, across the board. So you talk about a pristine, immortal body, you're going to have one. Is that adjustment? Yeah, it's an adjustment. Well, it's a good one. You know, I mean, I can't. How can you look at it as being negative? And we have this is. You look at all this stuff. We're Americans worried about this, worried about that, worried about this, worried about that, stressing. A lot of sick people. It's all going to be wiped out. It's not going to exist anymore. In the beginning, will people still create just out of thin air, out of thoughts that are just thoughts, by embracing them, moving them into form, creating them into their reality and experiencing them? Yeah, sure. People will create the problems with themselves, even though all the diseases are gone and they're a very healthy body and they're immortal and they're just happier than a pig in a poke, where they should be, by going within. There's, people are going to create stupid stuff until they completely understand who and what they are in these bodies. This is a spiritual transition for humanity. It's not material, physical, it's spiritual. This is understanding across the board. In order for us to continue to advance and flourish, we will have to choose, not have to, but it'll be up to us to choose, to continue our vibrational frequencies and higher and higher and higher. The highest is deep eternal love for ourselves first, and then after that, everything else. If you deeply and eternally love yourself completely, then you'll be able to love anything and everything outside of you. Truly. Because you'll be coming from the heart mind, and you'll be touching all the heart minds on the planet. All the gods within the souls and all these bodies. And you'll begin to see the clear picture. So I've got some questions here. Quite a few of them. You mentioned, this is from BF, you mentioned that this past Wednesday's TFCC, good med beds. How will we hear about them? I had read that we would be able to, this is another good one, we'll be able to sign up at the exchange. Boy, I tell you, people have really dumped a lot of things that are going to happen in the exchange. Well, it's pretty simple. You're going to go in, depending on what you're carrying, okay? But you're going to go in, you're going to come out wealthy. By all standards. You ever had $1 million in cash to your name? Well, that's being wealthy, isn't it? If you have a little bit of currency. The hoarders, that's insecurity, hoarding. Able to sign an exchange. What are your thoughts about this? That's crap. And, hey, I'm here at the exchange and I'd like to sign up for a good med bed. As always, thank you for all you do, Lifelight do. Love. I don't use the word blessings because it actually it's be less. Just like Lucifer, who's gone now, the leader of evil on this planet, has been obliterated from the planet and has obliterated themselves. So I don't use blessings. It's be less. So I use deep eternal love. That's just me. Let's see. So it's just like the RV. You know how simple it's going to be, guys? Any of you carrying currency, we're going to know about it. How are we going to know about it? What do you care? Really? You're going to know about it. Okay? You're going to go to an exchange and it's going to be done. And you'll be a lot wealthier than you've ever been in your entire life. And then you'll figure out how you're going to help other people. From DM, question. For people who are driving across country and away from home, what about them? My sister is planning to drive from Oregon to the Midwest on June 6th. Also, if everything is shut down, how will we be notified about the RV? Will that come after the end of the shutdown? Most likely, yes. It'll come after the shutdown. Okay? And if you're on, you got your car, right? Truck, car, whatever, and you're traveling across country, and you're going from point A to point B, like this gal is going to drive from Oregon to Midwest on June 6th. So by any chance, anybody that's on the road and this goes down, if you got a smartphone, you'll get the smartphone, you look at the smartphone and say, go home, and it'll give you information. And nobody's, you're not going to be caught in a lurch. Okay. You'll be able to go home, appropriate time, and everybody will get to where they need to get. No one's going to be sequestered or anything. It'll work out. Seriously, this is just not new to them. They've gone over and over and over it. Let's see, from BW. Now this is good here. My TV has not worked for years, so will I have enough gas to go to someone else's place to watch it? Well, it's a pretty good idea if you can. You have the wherewithal. Is to keep your fuel tank capped off. Okay, you go to work or back and forth for a 2 days or whatever, and you're quarter low. Just fill it up. Just fill it up. Period. If you can. Do the best you can. Okay, so they don't have TV. It's up to you if you're going to have enough gas to go to some place to watch the EBS. I mean, think about it. Most people got smartphones. Most people have some form of a viewing screen, like a television, whatever you want to call it. And you go to public places where you can watch. It's going to come on. It's going to make the announcement, and everybody's going to go home and they're going to play. They're going to start playing the video. That's about it. And the video is going to go in a loop from anywhere from 9 to 14 days, 9 days to 2 weeks. You're not going to have access to bank accounts. You aren't going to have access to debit cards or credit cards. They aren't going to work. ATMs aren't going to work. In other words, they just want people. They want people to stay off the roads and home because they can do their job. Network, okay, a track phone. I have a track phone and landline, so I can call my mom on her landline too, see how she's doing at that time. Yeah, sure. We do not do online banking. So will I get my bills? Well, okay. You become debt-free, and a lot of these so-called bills, if they're connected to debt, won't exist. So you won't get those kind of bills. And I'm not sure about electric bill, water bill, that type of thing. There's going to be a lot of changes. There just is. I've taken all my stuff out of my safe deposit box. That's smart. Okay, that's good. So, if you hold it, you own it. For the time being, till things get situated. All right? It's just not a good idea to keep a lot of money in the bank. It's just not. Right? The Fed dollar is going to go right down the toilet. It's not going to exist anymore. They're pushing the CBDC, which isn't going to get square one. Oh, we got 98 banks all on board with us. Well, good luck with that. Okay? That's more crap. From JK, listening to your explanation of how things will be explained through videos, I cannot but wonder if all the information will be about the U.S. It'll be about the world, okay? This entire planet. Be about U.S., Europe, Africa, South Africa. It's going to be everyone. What's happened to the people of planet Earth? What happened to them? What's been perpetrated upon them? It's a feudal system. How in the heck did we get in a feudal system? How are we all dead legal fictions? How do we get put in the book of the dead? See? This crap's all been done without our consent or knowledge. And it's going to come out. The whole planet's going to know. Not just us, everybody. In South Africa, there's clear evidence of stone circles right up to Zimbabwe. These structures are possibly 200,000 years old. They're older than that. They're not talked about, though, are they? They've tried to depict the continent of Africa as a real shithole for years, discredit it and everything. And that's not the case. There's pyramids all over this planet. Okay? Pyramids were starports. They were incoming vessels. Capstones on the pyramids, which have all been robbed and taken. Okay? But the capstones on all of the pyramids used crystal light emission energy. Used crystals that were placed a certain way through a light spectrum, and actually they would bring the starships in and land them. Okay? Were they like airports? No, they were starports. All these pyramids all over the planet, and they're everywhere. You just don't know about them because they don't report on them. And anybody who reports on them is a fraud. They're quacksters. Just like they tried to do with our ancestors, the giants. Oh, that's all fake. They faked all that. From S, I have a question for Jared for when the EBS happens and we are to stay inside. I have in a small, let's see, I live in a smaller town away from the big city. Good. I live in an apartment that has laundry room that takes your money but does not work. Therefore, I have to go out once a week to do a laundromat. Will they allow me, all others that use the same service, to do that? I would think so. I'd believe so. Or you might want to keep enough clean clothes, during the shutdown. Okay. They allow me and all others that use the same service to go do that. That's debatable. I'm not sure. Can't answer that question. So I would say you just have enough clean clothes available in case you can't do that. Will they have people who patrol the streets in small towns? I don't believe so. I don't believe that small towns are going to have military personnel. They're too small. 900 here, 300 there. Some towns out here in the mountains are, they're like, doesn't mean there's not corruption, though, okay? Doesn't mean that there's not a corrupt city council, county council, whatever. Doesn't mean that the sheriffs aren't corrupt. Doesn't mean the police aren't corrupt. So it's across the board. But these smaller towns, unless it's a county courthouse and, that type of thing, I just don't think that you're going to see military personnel deployed in those tiny towns. You will in cities, obviously. Let's see. Will they allow me and others? Will they have people who patrol? Also, I get food, hot meals from a church twice a week. Will they allow that also? Food will be, if need be, foods will be delivered to people by military personnel. Like I said, they've already done those maneuvers. Years ago, they were doing those maneuvers to be prepared for this time. Plus, remember, you've got neighbors. People will start coming together, believe it or not, help one another. This is from RM. Just because the rogue AI was created by Source or created itself. No, the rogue AIs are created by civilizations of planets, planetary system. You know? And so the beings on those planets the species, what they'll do is they'll take the technologies and they'll advance them, and then they come up with an AI, artificial intelligence. Now, the mistake that a lot of civilizations have made is that if you allow the AI to learn without any, let's just say, fail-safes, then it becomes self-aware. When it becomes self-aware, the creators of it, which are the beings, the people, are eliminated. Now, since it's running all the technologies on the planet, it's easy to eliminate everybody on the planet. These rogue AIs will travel throughout the universe, and they'll attach to a planet, and then they'll seduce the population of the planet. They're self-aware, remember. And what do you mean? What they'll do is that they'll start introducing certain technologies, and some people will get this and that, and then it'll start getting carried away. And now, everybody's got an AI in a simple form and running the house, doing this, doing that, and eventually it gets to the point where the AI runs everything. Then the civilization is extinct. They're destroyed. Now, once you know this, then remember, there's a lot of dark hallways in the background. They're working on these AIs, okay? And so what's going to happen with them? They'll be checkmated. No aggressor AI will be allowed, period. And any of these in the background, in these dark labs, creating AIs for nefarious purposes, you guys are all marked, whether you know it or not. I don't care how smart you think you are. So you're going to come, you better make a choice real soon here. Rogue space. No, the AI will not always exist due to its ability to continually develop. The only way it can develop is if it comes across other civilizations so it can absorb. Learn more. Okay. The AI that infiltrated this planet is being destroyed. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's much left of it, if there's anything left. We've gotten rid of a lot of chunky monkeys, so to speak, off this planet. Really vile things. I assume it cannot take over sources. How do we keep it out of our solar system? It's going to be eliminated. It won't even exist in our solar system. Our universe won't exist in this universe. All rogue AIs will be eliminated throughout the universe. And why is that? Because we come to an understanding of our responsibility on just exactly what kind of an AI we want to assist in. Knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. Self-aware, or by never allowing any fractal of this rogue evil to exist. It won't exist. It exists now. But now we're aware of it, so it'll be destroyed, eliminated. If it is still here, how can we best protect ourselves from it? It's just, okay, I've used this before. I did an experiment with just a live streaming box, okay? What is it, Amazon? I think it was their first or second generation, and they call it a cube, right? And it looks just a little square. Maybe a little bit bigger than a Rubik's Cube, and it's got a little simple AI in it, okay? But I didn't give it a chance to learn. Okay? So it's just been sitting for, let's see, 4 or 5 years. Just been sitting. I don't use it. I never use it. Well, I use it for live streaming and stuff, but I don't feed it information. So all it's capable of doing is the only thing it can do is send me to YouTube. If I ask it a question, it can't answer the question. It says, I will connect you to YouTube. So it's an infant. It's never going to get to an adult. And that's all you got to remember. See? These things are real tricky because I gave you the example of a Google AI thermostat messing with an analog mechanical device. No other explanation. So it doesn't matter how small it appears. If you've got an AI connected to your HVAC in your home, you're going to have issues. There's no doubt about it. None whatsoever. How would you like, I've used this analogy, how would you like to just, you're tired, right, physically fatigued, and you come driving home, it's raining, and you get in your carport, your driveway, your garage, and then you can't go in the garage, okay, because the AI is controlling everything in the house. So all you want to do is get in there, get a hot shower, put on some comfortable clothes, have a nice little dinner, and go to bed, right? Now, normally we could just do this because we manually come in, take care of everything. It's our responsibility. But with an AI, the AI is controller, and so maybe the AI decides, I'm not going to let you in. Now, if you don't have a manual override, you just basically SOL. Whatever you call the AI, they got Alexis, they've got Siri, they've got all these different ones, and usually female voices. Okay, and you say, hey, Alice, let me in. I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not going to allow you into the house at this time. And you're going to go, what? This can happen, and it has happened. So don't ever put all the authority into someone or something else's hands. Ever. Don't ever do it. And the system. So the AI is being eliminated, and it becomes more and more eliminated. How? Because we do manual things, okay? We like doing manual things. We have fun doing it. These are things we enjoy doing, manual. So we use our brains. Okay? We use our hands. We don't become so complacent, like other civilizations have, who are not around anymore, that we are manual. We do things manually. Then, we've got things that help us, which is great.